Hey, how you doing? Today we're going to work on slip pockets. Okay, so here's an interior of a bag. I do all my bags the same unless I've got a custom order where someone has some specifics. You know, it's a lot easier to do your bags the same and then you don't even follow instructions, which you know I don't follow instructions very well. I do on the back side, I do a zipper pocket with the overlay. Okay, this has got the recessed zipper, and this lays against the front side. This is a slip pocket, and you know, notice how I do them all the same now. This one's got cork, but if I do a leather bag, it'll have leather. If I do a vinyl bag, it'll have vinyl. And I put rivets here to reinforce the top, and then the stitching around the edge. And today, this is what I'm going to teach you, how to do my slip pockets, okay? Then I usually put my labels right here, and this is going to be drop-in, so it's all ready to go for the drop-in lining. And so you can sew them on your industrial, you can sew them on your domestic. What I like to do, see how I've changed this now, so I love the bold top stitching. Same thing with on my zipper overlay, so I use heavier thread. So what you'll see is I'm doing my top stitching on my, I'm looking at it here, you don't see it, my big Thor 1341. It's a cylinder arm, but you can do it on any machine. I can do it on my Juki 1541, but I use my cylinder arm just for bag openings when I'm sewing this, and for top stitching. That's just me, but you can use your domestic, you can use any machine you want, but I'm just gonna do it the way I normally do it. And I lost my train of thought. But I will sew the bag, the cotton portion, on my domestic, so you can see how I do, and I've changed the way I do my slip pocket as well. So we'll be doing that. Now, here's my slip pocket pattern. I have made this to fit like my cell phone with a battery case on it. So I think it'll fit like an Android. I have an iPhone. It is 5 inches down by 8 inches across. And my seam allowance is going to be about 1/4 inch. So that's the pattern. And I'm using, look at that. I go to Dollar Tree and I buy the little plastic placemats. So it's just really easy because it's heavy. You can use whatever you want. Some people use different materials, some people laminate, but these are just easy for me. So like I said, I am doing the same interiors all the time. So this is what I do. And see how I have it marked cell phone slip pocket. So that's how we get started. Let me see if I have anything else to add. So yeah, basically all my interiors are done with the same 2 pockets. Zipper overlay on one side. This is going to be on the back side of your bag. And then the slip pocket will lay on the front side. This is just how I do them. And I really like the recessed zipper. I think my Elaine bag does not have a recessed zipper. It's like a recessed zipper that lays on top. I'm getting ready to do a Lola, so that will also be on top. Can't wait to do that one. You know, are you like this? Where you're working on one set of bags and already thinking about the next set of bags. Well, that's me. So anyway, without further ado, let's get going. I have everything all prepped. I have 2 studios. This is the industrial studio. I'm at a time of day, I'm in front of this window at the end of the day where the sun comes in here pretty bright so you can see the shadows. So bear with me. All right, so what I have here is I have my lining piece. This is a Lola. I have my lining piece. I have the pocket piece. Now, if you recall, this is my pocket pattern. What I didn't have written on here that you didn't know before is that I cut it out on the fold. So it ends up being one long piece. And then I have the vinyl strip that goes on top. So what I do is I cut out the the pocket piece, and then I mark my seam allowance on the pocket piece is about 1/2 inch. Now remember that the pocket piece is 5 by 8. If you want a bigger seam allowance, you can adjust it. This just happens to fit most any cell phone, so I just make it a 1/4 inch seam allowance. You can make it bigger. So what I've done is I've pressed this. Now, I also used 1/8 inch double-sided tape. I always call it double stick. 1/8 inch double-sided tape to keep it in place, not 1/4 inch. If we were to use 1/4 inch, you know how it gets stuck in your needle. So I used 1/8 inch. If you want to use 1/4 inch, then go ahead and make larger seam allowances. So I've got this all prepped. Each side, this is going to get folded in half, okay, like so. Clip. Clip. We can even clip it twice. Clip. Clip. Normally I would press the bottom, but in this situation, I got a hoarse voice. In this situation, I'll do that later, okay? Next step is gonna be to add the vinyl strip. Now, I cut the vinyl strip 1 1/4 inch. You can do it a little bit shorter, but I wouldn't make it 1 inch. I see if we fold it in half, one side's a little bit longer. At the shortest, I would make it 1 1/8 inch, because when I put it on the pocket, the front is going to be 1/2 inch. I like the back of it to be a little longer, just to make sure that it catches in the top stitching. That's just me. It's just me. So now we're going to take off the this is 1/4 inch double-sided tape. I marked a 1/4 inch down, or I'm sorry, a 1/2 inch down, and I put 1/4 inch on each side, close to the edge. We're going to lay this right. Oh, let's do this right now, Renee. Sorry, I gotta get it right. We're gonna put the raw edge along the line, like so. This is gonna be, you are gonna be sewing over this double-sided tape. I haven't had a problem with it though. Okay, oddly enough, take the other one off and fold it over. So this is going to be the back side, because this is the longer one. Okay, I'm going to take my clips. This is going to be the back. I'm going to clip it in place. Okay. This is going to be the front. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch right along this edge right here with like an 1/8 inch seam allowance. Seam right along that edge and top stitch. The next step will be to cut off these ends. Okay, and I'll be back. Okay, now I got the vinyl sewn on, trimmed the edges off. The next step is to find the center of the pocket. I can mark this, let's see. You know, you can mark it with some leather marker, but I don't usually do that, to be honest. I could even take one of these pins and mark right here on the cotton. Yeah, that's what I'll do. And then you take, I'm gonna find a ruler. And then you take the center, here's the center straight down. I usually bring it right below my label, okay? And let's see if you can see this. Yeah, let's take it a little bit more south. There you go. So then I'll take my ruler, go right down the center, line it up here, get the measurement. Might be nice, Renee, if you had it measured right here. There, I'm gonna take it at 2 3/4. This bag is not straight across, so I can't measure it straight across, but I can line it up pretty much with this label to make sure that it's even. And it is centered there. So then I'm gonna take these pins and pin it here. Line it up here and pin it right here. I will probably take these clips off because those will get in the way. And look at it. Let's see, another way you can measure is off the bottom. This looks crooked. And yes, it is. So this side has to come down a bit. And the label may be crooked. So we'll measure here is about 2.5, and here is about 2.5. Okay, that's good. There. So now I have it all pinned. What I'm going to do next, I'm not going to sew this on the industrial. I mean, I could. Actually, I could. But I probably won't. I'll probably take it over to my, my domestic. I'm going to start off the vinyl. I'm going to start right here and sew it about 1/8 of an inch down this side, across the bottom, and up this side. And then after that, then I'm going to make holes about, I don't know, it's about 1/4 of an inch in here. Not too far in because then you're not going to have enough room for your cell phone to fit. But then I'm going to make holes right here, and then I'm going to put my rivets at each corner. That's my stability right there. So I don't sew over this. Now remember, you can do this sewing with your domestic machine. The only reason I like to sew it on my industrial is I really like the look of the heavier thread. It gives it a nice top stitch look, but you don't have to do it on an industrial. You can do it on your domestic machine. But I'm going to be sewing my trim. I'm going to be sewing my top stitching with this same thread, with this white, so I accent it also. Whatever I do on the exterior, I'll also do on the slip pocket as well. So that's what I'm going to do next, is I'm going to come down, across, up. I'm going to insert the holes for the rivets. I do that manually and put the rivets in, and then I'll show you what that looks like. There she is. So I finished stitching all the way down, across and back up, and then I installed, these are, well, look at, that's not perfect, but again, that's what happens. See, even Renee, see, the perfectionist me, I'm going to point out, this one's just a tad bit higher than that one, but inside a pocket, they're looking down on it, they're not going to notice. These are 8mm rivets. I install by manually, and then it should, I was going to try to show you and put my cell phone in there, but I'm filming with it. But then it, like a cell phone usually fits in there pretty well. So that's a slip pocket. I think I mentioned I do all my interiors the same. So pretty much this is a slip pocket that I use, unless I have a client that asks that they want something different. So yeah, and then I do this on one side and I do a zipper overlay on the other, and this is it. So I love your questions. I love your requests. And you can message me anytime on Facebook Messenger. I love helping you all out. It's really what I enjoy doing. So yeah, I'll be back next week. Let me know what you want me to show you. Thanks. Bye.